The European Commission has been categorical. It will not be renegotiated. The EU Council has given the clarification that were possible at this stage, so no further meetings with the UK are foreseen. The deal is unchanged and not going to change. The House must get on with the vote and move on to consider the realistic alternatives. There can be no logical reason for this delay, except that in taking shambolic government to a new level, the Prime Minister no longer has the backing of her cabinet. So can the Prime Minister answer this? 1. Does her deal still have the confidence of the Cabinet? 2. Is Cabinet collective responsibility still in operation? 3. Does it remain government policy to avoid a no-deal outcome? Mr. Speaker, an unacceptable deal is on the table. No amendment has been secured, renegotiations have been rebuffed, and not even mere assurances have been offered. And the Prime Minister's shoddy deal no longer even has the backing of the Cabinet. The Prime Minister ran away from putting her deal before Parliament because even her own Cabinet has doubts, and she herself admits Parliament won't back it. So we're left edging ever closer to the 29th of March deadline without a deal and without even an agreed plan in Cabinet to get a deal. The Prime Minister has cynically run down the clock, trying to manoeuvre Parliament into a choice between two unacceptable outcomes: her deal or no deal. The country, workers and businesses are increasingly anxious. Even yesterday, the CBI said uncertainty is throttling firms and threatening jobs, not in the future, but right now. The British Chamber of Commerce has said there is no time to waste. A responsible Prime Minister would, for the good of this country, have put this deal before the House this week. This week, so we could move on from this government's disastrous negotiations. This, Mr. Speaker, is a constitutional crisis, and the Prime Minister is the architect of it. She's leading the most shambolic and chaotic government in modern British history. Even Cabinet no longer functions. A Prime Minister whose authority has been lost. A Cabinet disintegrating into cliques and factions, and a Conservative Party so fundamentally split that its very existence is being discussed. The debate on the meaningful vote was pulled at the last minute, and the Prime Minister has now wasted 5 weeks having achieved nothing. Not a single word renegotiated, not a single reassurance gained. This last week has embodied the failure, chaos and indecision at the heart of this government's shambolic handling of Brexit. But, Mr. Speaker, it is disgraceful that a month has been wasted since we were due to vote on the 11th of December. There can be no further attempts to dodge the accountability of government to this Parliament, Mr. Speaker.